Hello, and welcome to the new student roadmap presentation on healthy Goucher students. My name is Tim Mosliner. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm the director of the Student Counseling Center. Alongside me today is the director of Student Health and Wellness, Vanessa Jaffard, and the associate director of Student Health, Katie McGrath Student-Yars. I'm going to share a little bit about the Goucher College Student Counseling Center to inform you all and the ways we can support students as you come to campus this fall. At the Student Counseling Center, we have 4 master's level clinicians, one of them being a clinical case manager, a receptionist, and we're excited that we'll have 5 clinical trainees this year that will be with us through the academic year. At the Counseling Center, we provide a variety of mental health supports. Most notably, we do offer short-term psychotherapy for students. We also offer urgent appointments. We plan different programming and events. We help students connect to resources off campus. We have a 24/7 after-hours phone line and a resource library and medical transportation for students needing to get to appointments. For students that are interested in accessing counseling service, we have an appointment request form located on our Counseling Center page. When students submit the request form, we will reach out and schedule an appointment. Other ways are that students can contact our main phone line at 410-337-6481. Students can also request urgent appointments that can typically be scheduled within 3 to 5 business hours. We do ask that these appointments are scheduled by phone, and we do want to highlight that it's important that students call to request these appointments, as third parties are not able to schedule appointments for their students. The Student Counseling Center is located on the top floor of Mary Fisher Hall, right above the main dining hall. As you enter Mary Fisher Hall and past the student market, on the left-hand side, you'll be directed to some stairs, and on the 3rd floor, by the steps or using the elevator, you'll find the Student Counseling Center entrance. For students that are interested in utilizing counseling services, we are available Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Students are available to access these services when they're enrolled in classes. We start scheduling appointments on the first day of classes. And however, students do have access to the 24/7 after hours line if they need to speak to a counselor outside of business hours. While the Student Counseling Center offers a variety of supports, these are some helpful things to remember. Students have access to a 24/7 phone line called the After Hours Line for mental health support. The Counseling Center is not able to solicit services or reach out to students without the student initiating contact. We offer short-term therapy, but we do have connections with a variety of clinicians in the Towson, Baltimore area for people who need services beyond what we can offer. Students also have access to WellTrack Connect, which is a website that can be used to search and communicate with off-campus providers. For those that do need support that the Counseling Center cannot offer, we do have a clinical case manager that can make referrals to help connect students off campus. It's important to remember that students do not need to be in crisis to seek support from the Student Counseling Center, and early intervention is better. For students that are coming onto campus, if they have established mental health care or psychiatric care, we do advise that they continue their treatment when starting college. Also, the Student Counseling Center cannot meet with students who are actively engaged with a therapist outside of the center. While the Student Counseling Center does offer a variety of support, there are some things that we are unable to do. First, we're not able to prescribe or manage medication. We're unable to write housing or classroom accommodation letters, provide assessment or documentation for emotional support animals, offer long-term counseling services or therapy that occurs more than once per week. and provide on-campus services for diagnoses treatment that may require more specialized modalities of care. And now I'm going to pass it on to my colleague, Vanessa Jaffard.
Hey everyone, my name is Vanessa Jaffard. I'm the Director of Student Health and Wellness here at Goucher. And just a little bit about us. This is what me and my team look like. So if anytime you enter the Wellness Center on campus or you go to the Health Center, you'll either be greeted by myself, Katie, Brittany, or Dana at the Health Center. So a little bit about the Wellness Center. We're located in Trustees Hall, that's in the First Year Village, right on the first floor. And the Wellness Center, a little bit different from the Counseling Center and the Health Center, but we're nestled right in between. It's a third space for students where they could get everything and do everything from socializing to studying to getting advice. And so anytime that a student wants to engage in any type of health program, we have an active calendar of Third Space Thursdays, and we have programs that are happening throughout the semester, so please look out for them. Come and see us and keep yourself abreast of our different health programs. Some of our popular health programs this semester included Let's Talk About Sex, where we talk about foundational skills around sex and healthy relationships and consent and safety. Our Sip and Paint mixer, our friend mixer and plant potting events, and also one of our popular ones, which was a seat at the table, National Coming Out Day dinner. So as you can see, we do a plethora of programming and we'd love to see you there. Feel free to email me or call me, or you can scan the QR code and get on our list so you can keep abreast of our programs. Next off, I'm gonna hand it off to my right hand, Katie, who is the Associate Director of the Health Center.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Next, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Student Health Center here on campus and some of our student health requirements for incoming students. The Student Health Center, we're conveniently located in one of the residential halls, Hubick Hall, on the first floor. Our office hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are staffed by 2 wonderful nurse practitioners and myself as a registered nurse. And to schedule an appointment, students can either call us at our phone number 410-337-6050, or they can send us an email, and our best email address is nurse@goucher.edu. Most of the time we can accommodate same-day appointments, but we cannot guarantee that just based on what our schedule may or may not be. There is our website listed below for anyone that might like a little bit more information about us or the Student Health Center, and we ask you to visit that to get familiar. Next, we're going to talk about the services that we provide through the Student Health Center. First, I'd like to let everyone know that visits are free. There is no cost to any undergraduate Goucher student for any type of visit in the Student Health Center. So it does not matter the type of health insurance you have, or whether you don't have health insurance at all, any student can come to us. There are some small fees that students with a different health insurance plan outside of the Goucher sponsored health insurance plan, but we try to keep our costs to a minimum. Things that we can see students for, there's a wide variety of things, pretty much anything and everything. We can see students for acute illnesses, such as a sore throat, upset stomach, or for management or help with management of chronic illnesses. We can also see students for sexual reproductive health concerns or issues, also for consultations as well. We can see students for physical exams, an annual physical exam, a sports participation physical, travel health for study abroad, or work physicals. We have equipment to do lab testing here in the Student Health Center. So our provider may want to order lab work for a student during a visit. or if a student has lab work they need to have by an outside provider, they can see us and we can do that for them and send it out to the lab. We also offer vaccine clinics throughout the fall semester. We partner with Safeway Pharmacy, and they come on campus to provide free vaccine clinics for all of our undergraduate students. We can also see students who may be looking for a referral to any particular specialist within the area. Next on this slide, we have a list of the health requirements. We require these, like I said earlier, for all of our incoming students. There is more information on our website about the specific health requirements, but more or less it's some of the basic vaccines that students typically have received when they were young adolescents. So we require 2 doses of the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine. Updated dose of the tetanus vaccine must be within the past 10 years. Meningococcal vaccine. This is a law in the state of Maryland for individuals living in student housing. Students may opt out of this vaccine requirement by completing a waiver. And that waiver and all the other health forms can be found in our student health portal, and I've listed the website below. We also require that students complete a TB screening form. If a student is screened as high risk, we do require that they have TB testing and then provide us with the test result. We also require that a student have an updated physical exam, and that physical exam can be from any time within the 12 months of them starting here at Goucher. Last, we have a short health history form that students can complete online through the student health portal. So that just kind of gives us a picture of the student's general overall health so that we could potentially anticipate any needs or how we could best help them during their time here at Goucher. There are separate health requirements for student athletes. So in addition to all the required student health center forms, student athletes must also submit and complete specific student athlete forms. This includes a separate medical history form, an acknowledgement of risk consent to treat by the athletic trainers here on campus, as an NCAA requirement that students provide a sickle cell copy of their sickle cell trait lab work. Athletes must also complete a concussion fact sheet. There's a separate physical that student athletes need. It's called a pre-participation sports physical. If a student athlete has this physical and they upload that, that will also satisfy the student health center's physical exam requirement. So it's not required that a student athlete have 2 separate physicals done. And then last, they ask that a student athlete update either a government ID or a picture of their driver's license to the student health portal. Some specific student athlete tips. The due date for the student athlete documentation is July 1st. We try to make it easy, so all health forms, student athlete, and for the Student Health Center can be completed and uploaded to the Medicat Student Health Portal. And if any student athlete has any questions or concerns, issues completing the forms, we ask that you reach out to the head athletic trainer, Tori Wagner, and his email address is provided below. Lastly, some information on the student health insurance. So Goucher requires all full-time undergraduate students to have health insurance coverage. We're not specific in the coverage, but they must have some sort of health insurance coverage. This is the enrollment and waiver process is managed through our Student Financial Services office. If a student doesn't waive the health insurance provided through Goucher, students are automatically enrolled, and so they will be charged for that. The waiver does typically open the end of July, early August, and so students must go in and waive that coverage so they are not automatically charged. More information on when the enrollment and the waiver process will be sent out to students and their families over the summer. So look for that email from the Student Financial Services office. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to welcoming you to campus very soon.